Hello, and welcome to Creating with Colleen, where I will teach you what to do. I may teach you what not to do, but I promise to teach you something. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator on the East Coast of Virginia. I am in Chesapeake, Virginia, and typically I come to you live every Wednesday Eastern time at noon, but I have a conflict on my calendar tomorrow, so I thought, let me just go ahead, shoot a video tonight, and I will post it tomorrow at noon. So you can have lunch and still create even though I won't be there. And then I'll see you again next Wednesday. So what I want to share with you today is a really fun pinwheel card. This sheet here, this page was inspired by my awesome upline Melissa Ellis, and then I changed the other sheets. But this is what a pinwheel card looks like. You just float it around time and time again. It's really, really cool. And again, it looks like a pinwheel. Now, typically, this card is made with a centerpiece, and I will show you what that is, but you actually have a square, and you tape all these panels onto this. Well, when I first wanted to make this card, my friend Janet Court had given me this card. So, you know, being a demonstrator for 20 years, being a drafter, I just grabbed my ruler. I did not know there was a center square piece inside of here. I thought this was one piece, this was one piece, and so forth. So I am going to show you how to make a pinwheel card without that centerpiece using only 4 base pieces of your cardstock. So the set that I'm using, the bundle actually is called Sweet Little Stockings, and it is adorable. If you are a cat or dog lover, you're sure to love this suite, and it is found on page 30 and 31 in the July through December mini catalog. So it's a wonderful suite of products. I love the pool party striped ribbon. The matte decorative dots are really cute. And this designer paper is absolutely awesome. So on the designer paper, you actually have animals on one side. You have stockings. You can cut the stockings with the dies. And that's where some of my images are coming from. But you also have some amazing patterns on the opposite side. So if you have not seen this yet on page 31, I do recommend you get it because it is great designer paper, even if you don't use the animals, because again, you have patterns on one side and the animals on the other. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the measurements of everything I have. I'm going to create these base pieces, and then I'm going to show you how to put them all together. So what I have here, let me see if I can get my sheet over here without dropping everything. Easier said than done. But basically what you are going to need, these are my 4 base pieces. So they're all the same. This is your basic white. It is 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 1 inch. You're going to need 4 of these pieces. Then I have 4 other base pieces. And I chose to use the designer paper, the Sweet Stockings designer paper, 2 of the cherry cobbler, and then 1 of the old olive. And these pieces are 2 1/2 by 4 inches. I love the rectangle stitched dies. So this here is actually one of the smaller ones. It measures about 2 1/2 inches across. And then I will be mounting that on a piece of real red. That's 2 1/2 by 1 1/8. You are going to need 3 pieces of the basic white, and these pieces are 2 1/4 by 3 3/4. So 2 of them are plain because I'm going to stamp on them, and then 1 of them I use the Wintry 3D folder. That is an awesome 3-inch folder that has snowflakes, but it also has like pine branches, spruce I think it is, from the Christmas trees. So I have already, I don't know if you can see it, I have already embossed that. Then you are going to need 4 pieces of the designer paper. And again, I'm still using the Sweet Stockings designer paper. And these strips are 1 1/2 inches by 4 inches. And I actually took a picture of this ahead of time. So I will put this on my blog where you can actually see the measurements and everything laid out. And here, you're going to need a stocking. These were all from the designer paper. I cut a stocking with 1 of the dies, this cute little mouse, this sourpuss cat, and this gorgeous golden retriever. Almost made me go out and want to buy a golden retriever. My husband really wants one. I'm just a little afraid of all the hair. But one day I got a feeling I'm going to give in because I hear they are amazing dogs. So again, we're going to create our base pieces first to this fun pinwheel card. So this one I'm going to wait because I actually put it on one of the 4 bases. The designer paper is right on there. So let's go to Jingle All the Way. Now the word set that I used for this one, I definitely used some of the words from the Sweet Stockings, Sweet Little Stockings stamp set. But on page 29, we have a fun set called Holly Jolly Wishes. And for this, I am going to be using 'Tis the Season to be Jolly and Jingle All the Way. So I'm going to take one of those pieces of 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 basic white. And I'm going to take my cherry cobbler ink. And I'm going to stamp Jingle All the Way. Okay. So I'll just put it kind of up here towards the top. Jingle All the Way. And of course I love using Daffodil Delight with the cherry cobbler. So I'll just take a couple little stars, brighten it up. And I have what I'm going to stamp. And then I'm going to take that cute little mouse. I've already cut them out. And when you cut these out, you do not have to micromanage them and get too close because they have a white edge and they're going on white designer paper. But I'm telling you, if you do not own a pair of Stampin' Up's paper snips, you need to get them because they really are the best cutting scissors when you're cutting any type of paper. So here I have my little mouse, and I am going to mount this on that piece of cherry cobbler that is 2 1/2 by 4. So I'll just put this on there. And that little base piece is done. So I'll put that aside. Next, I can go to my stocking. So with my stocking, I'm going to use the Very Merry. And I'm actually going to stamp that again in cherry cobbler. And it doesn't have to be straight because I'm just going to do a really quick little fussy cut, again with my snips. And I'm just going to come around it. But they are nice and sharp, and you really have to be careful because they are sharp all the way to the end of the scissors. Their tips are just as sharp as the center. So here's my Very Merry. So I'm going to take the Very Merry with the 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 basic white that I had embossed with that wintry folder. And I'm taking my 2 1/2 by 4 inch Old Olive. So I'm going to attach this to my Old Olive. And then I'm going to take some dimensionals. I'm going to take my tiny ones. I love these little guys. We used to always have to cut them in half, but these little mini dimensionals are perfect. And I'm just going to put this at the top, and then I'm going to go for my regular size dimensionals. And again, the designer paper has 2 sheets with nothing but stockings in 3 different sizes. So with those, I just took my dies, popped them right out, and I didn't even have any samples of this designer paper to show you because I have used all my stockings. They have been great for creating all kinds of different holiday cards. So here I have my second panel. You can see how quick and easy it is coming together. This by far is my favorite. I am a dog lover. I love cats, but I love them at your house. You just never know what a cat's going to do. You'll be petting his ears, you know, and he's purring and everything is great. And all of a sudden they just reach up and bite you. Like, where did that come from? I mean, at least with a dog, they growl first or you see it in their eyes and you know you're in trouble at that point. Cat gives you no warning. But I loved that we have this 'Tis the Season to be Jolly. So I am just going to stamp that at the top. And then this cat from the designer paper, again, it's hilarious. I hope you can see it. He is so unamused. It's kind of like, yeah, right. Yeah, 'tis the season to be jolly. Okay, if you say so. So I just thought this cat was absolutely perfect to go with this saying. And like I said, I just kind of fussy cut them, nothing big. So I will put my little cat here. And then this cat is going to go on a piece of that 2.5 by 4 inch cherry cobbler. Just like that. This really is my favorite. Outside of the golden retriever though. So see, there's your third panel. Quick and easy. So from here, I am going to stamp that little 2.5 inch stitched rectangle. I'm going to need it for this piece, and I love that you have the cats and the dogs, and it says Santa Paws is coming to town. How cute is that? So 2.5 inch stitched rectangle die. I'm actually going to take my real red, and I'm going to take that stamp set, and here I'll just stamp right in the center. Santa Paws is coming to town. You better behave. No bones for you. And then I'm going to put on that 2.5 by 1 1/8 piece of real red cardstock. And it's just going to give me a really slight edge around. Nothing too major. So I have that. So when I did this piece again, I mounted it to one of these base pieces. So what I found by trial and error, remember I will teach you what to do, I will teach you what not to do, but I do really promise to teach you something. When I did this card with my first stamp club, we had actually put everything on these panel pieces and put it together. But what I didn't realize, it was like a group of 10 of us. Some people might have put it, let me fold this so you can see it, with the edge this way, somewhere this way. So I think it's really just easiest to put this entire white base together. Then you can decorate it from there. That I think is the most foolproof way. And just for the warning, you never want to be the first stamp club of the month, because boy, oh boy, are you my guinea pigs. But again, I learned what works, and I can learn what doesn't work. So I have taken these pieces, and again, these are 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 1 inch. So you want to take these and give it a really good crease with your bone folder. I have 4 of these, and you're going to do that to all 4. And wait till you see how this goes together. Again, I didn't use that center piece, and it was a happy mistake. Sometimes you make a mistake and it's not too happy. Sometimes you make a mistake and you kind of go, huh, I like that. I think I can work with that. And I was blessed in order to do that. So I'm going to show you what the white piece is, and then I'll show you, this was my original one that I made, and you'll be able to see better how it goes together. But basically, you are going to take your pieces and just stair step, tape them together, kind of like a waterfall card we used to make. So I have this piece here, and you want to put this right underneath that fold. So I will put my adhesive on here. And it's going to go right up to here. Kind of got my head in the lamp. But you're going to go right here and just kind of make sure that folds over. So that's what it looks like here. So then you're going to come to this line. Put your adhesive on here. Come right underneath, again, your pieces are like this. Come right underneath this fold line. I'm telling you, with the Stampin' Steel, you better get it right the first time where you want it, because, my goodness, this stuff is like welding your cardstock together. It's awesome. So I have that piece, that piece, that piece. And I'm going to take my 4th one. And again, I'll show you it in color in case you can't really see it on the video that well. And then I have this piece here. So when you have all of these taped together, when you bring them around, that is what is going to create your pinwheel. So with that, and you can even do this, see how those two go together? You can even take this one that isn't taped down yet, kind of open it up here, put your tape on this piece. Let me get my stuff there. And actually, just close this, because you can push down. And that, my friends, is how I made the pinwheel with only 4 pieces of cardstock and not using the center. Here's the way, because what I did, like I said, I saw Janet's and I measured it, and then I got ready to put this together and I said, wow, let me watch a video and see how they did that. And then they showed me this way and I was like, huh, who knew? So I had to make it work. So I do like my way. This is the other way people are showing how to make it. You have a 5 3/4 by 4 1/4 inch base. Then you score it at 3/4, at 1 1/2, 2 1/4, and 3. Because when you put this together, that kind of creates the center plus one of these. So then what they did, say these were the panels, they would take this panel and glue it onto that square. Then they would take this panel and glue it onto that square. So everything started with this separate piece here. That was the way I saw it. But again, I like the four pieces I did. Now, one of the things I think is easiest is to wait to decorate this. That was kind of where we ran into our problem on the first stamp club. And again, they did great. They did absolutely great. I think it was the instruction I was giving because I didn't know certain things to specify. Sometimes if you already put your images on here, they could be upside down. So we're gonna put this with the smaller side to the left and this to the right. And again, the first one that I did, I actually used the base piece. So for this, I took the 2 1/2 by 4 inch piece of that beautiful designer paper. I could use like 12 sheets of just this one. I love the lights. And I am going to put this in the center of my card. And again, I have my base piece here, my side here. Now today at one of my stamp clubs, somebody did it this way, but it's still gonna work because it's a pinwheel card. Just make sure they're all going the same way. So I'm gonna take this and then I'm gonna take one of the pieces of the 1 1/2 by 4 and I'm gonna put it on this left side. It's easier for me to do it horizontally. So I will put this here. For the top, I'm going to take my Santa Claus is coming to town. Cannot believe it's like October 19th and he's going to be coming sooner than I would like. But nobody ever asked me. It comes too quick. I'll put that there. And then I'm going to take that gorgeous golden. They really are amazing dogs. And I'll put on a couple of dimensionals. Oops. And this sweetheart is going to go right in the center. So there's my first part of the pinwheel. Flip it over and let's do the next. The next I am going to do the Jingle All the Way. This cute little mouse, he is adorable. I will take my base piece. I will put it in the center here. And then I kind of wanted to use this designer paper because if you look, he has a cherry cobbler light and dark package. And I liked the way this one, if you can see it, still has a light and dark cherry cobbler. And it's going diagonal just like his little packages. So I take this. Put it on this side. Voila. Flip it. Keep going. So for here, I'm going to take the Very Merry. I've already put this together. So we'll put this right here. And then, of course, the coordinating diagonal paper with the old olive. And again, that is probably one of the best things about creating with Stampin' Up! Products. It's just the way everything coordinates. Your ink color to your cardstock to your designer paper, everything matches and coordinates. So you don't have all these different shades of colors. And what I love about the designer paper is on the package, they tell you the colors that are in the papers. Because I am color challenged sometimes, and it's just awesome that I can pull those colors from that designer paper and create my cards. So there's that one. And then, last but not least, our cheerful little cat. So this goes right here. And I chose to use this cherry cobbler stitched. And I'll put this here. So just that simple, with just those 4 base pieces, this is your pinwheel card. And the beautiful thing about a pinwheel card is it fits in an envelope. So you can mail this just like a 5.5 by 4 1/4 card, because that's what this is. So let me refresh your memory. When you're putting it together, because you might not have been able to see it with the white, these are the pieces. So if I open this, this is what the front looks like. But again, putting it together, all these base pieces are scored. You know, it's, again, like I said, it's 3 3/4 by 4 1/4, scored at 1 inch. So I take that one, and where it folds like that, that's where I tape this one. And then where this crease is down at the bottom here, that next one, that's where I put that. It's looking like that. And then for this one here, I put it right here, so that when all of this comes together, that square piece is going to go on there. So that is how Colleen Magness makes her pinwheel card. If somebody else did it already, don't tell me, because I like to think I was the first, but it was a happy mistake in the stamp room. So again, this would have been my Facebook Live, noon Eastern time, on my Creating with Colleen Facebook page. I hope you will pop in and have lunch with me. But tonight it was just a video up in the stamp room, so I can post it tomorrow at noon. As again, I had a conflict in the calendar. So I do have a Creating with Colleen Magness YouTube channel. I hope you will go there and like my videos and leave lots of comments, because I'm always trying to better my best. And then you can request my newsletter at creatingwithcolleen.com, and you can also order 24/7 anytime. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked this card. I absolutely loved it. It was just a lot of fun. And I hope you will join me again to create. So may God bless you all, and have a great rest of your week. Take care now. Bye-bye.